Hello everyone, and welcome back to part 3 of our overview of Tasha's Cauldron of Everything. Good God, this has taken a while.
You think?
Last time, we finished up all the new class features, going from Paladin to Wizard, and we covered group patrons. And now we're sort of delving more into the technical side of things, so if you have questions, please feel free to say so.
Right, because today we're talking about magic.
And that's gonna get technical.
We're talking about the new spells and my favorite part of this book, the new magic items.
Yeah.
Because there's some dumb ones in here.
Yeah.
I love them. So, I'm ready to talk about Tasha and her sexy demon lord man, if you are.
Felix!
It's right here, Susan!
But anyways, here is Tasha talking with Gruz.
A sexy demon lord man.
Well, one of the demon lords, yes. Anywho, now let's read the text above this picture.
Okay.
Magic is everywhere in D&D. Many creatures in the D&D multiverse use magic and exist solely due to its influence. And, hello, Bronze, nice to see ya. Spellcasters harness magical energy every day in the form of spells, and supernatural power thrums at the heart of the magic items sought by adventurers. This chapter is all about those last two things, spells and magic items. The chapter first presents new spells for player characters and monsters to use. Those spells are followed by suggestions on customizing the look of your spells. The chapter then offers a selection of new magic items, including artifacts of mythic power, and magic items that can be printed on one's body in the form of tattoos. The DM decides how the options in this chapter appear in the campaign and may choose to use some, all, or none of them. So make sure to let the DM know which options you'd most like to use in play. And you have been told to wait 3 minutes so the fun police don't demonetize this. Being I do not have enough subscribers to be monetized in the first place.
Right, but after the first 3 minutes, you can cuss. So I'll wait.
Scrolling along. It's... Blinn, it's not that this is the quote-unquote old era, it's more like this is a separate universe entirely from the one you live in, where there is just one. Now, Tasha's opinion on spells. Well, darn. Whatever could have happened to the spells, Mordenkainen's bountiful backpatting, Howard's hot air, and all the rest? I'm sure I submitted the spells they insisted I include therein. Seems they got lost in the shuffle. Shame. We all know what happened to those spells, namely Tasha looked at them and went, no.
No, Tasha put them in, but if you remember the foreword, this book got edited.
So they might have gotten cut out.
Yeah, because the spell, Mordenkainen's bountiful backpatting, that's a shot at Mordenkainen, like, oh, yeah, pat yourself on the back. And Heward's hot air, Heward's full of hot air. That's what she's saying there.
Yes, she is essentially discreetly roasting these people.
Discreetly?
Okay, never mind. Overtly roasting these people. Anywho. This section contains new spells that the DM may add to a campaign, making them available to player character and monster spellcasters alike. The spell table lists the new spells, ordering them by ritual. The table also notes the school of magic of a spell,
ritual?
Whether it requires concentration, whether it bears the ritual tag, and which classes have access to it. If you'd like to use any of these spells, talk to your DM, who may allow some, all, or none.
Susan, I just want to let you know, you said they'd order them by ritual?
They order them by level. I can too speak the English language.
Can you,
I
though?
can also read.
Can you, though?
Sometimes I have days.
Good. We're being honest now. Here are
Anyways,
the spells. We shall go over them in more detail when we get to them.
When we get to their spell descriptions. One thing I am excited about is the fact that they brought back these summoning spells, which are...
Here to here.
Yeah, which are very handy to have.
Almost all conjuration except for the undead one.
Makes sense. So, if you're playing a conjuration class wizard, you just got a lot more variety in what you can pull.
Yep. You got everything except for Summon Celestial.
Yep. Although I'm sure if you find a spell of it, your DM won't say you can't use it.
It's not in the spell list. You can't use it.
Well,
if you find a scroll, you can.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Like, if you find a scroll of it, the DM won't say no.
Right, but you can't copy it into your spellbook.
Yeah, your spellbook will just go, no.
So here are the spells going down in alphabetical order. First up, the new 9th level spell!
Blade of Disaster. This has the V and S next to the components section mean it requires spoken and hand gesture components, unless you have feats that say you can cast without them.
Looks to sorcerer subtle casting, which I realize now you can do that in a silence cone. Oh.
Yeah. Now, this is a 9th level spell, so you would be getting it close to endgame.
Oh, yeah. No, this is big time.
Yes. In general, the higher level a spell, the more quote-unquote broken it will end up being.
And this one's up there.
Yeah. The fact that it can pass through a wall of force is extremely alarming.
Right there for the people watching.
Yep. Now, can we just look at the wall of force thing really quick so we can see what it does?
There you go.
Yeah, the fact that this is an explicit exception to the nothing can physically pass through the wall rule is alarming.
Yeah. Also, Wall of Force is a fun 5th level spell.
Yes, especially if you want to up your defensive game, because it's just like, no.
Not you. Not today.
Yeah, just, nope.
Nah.
Next, we have still a blade spell, but a cantrip this time.
Yes, and this is another one from the famous Sword Coast Adventurer's Guide, which I can now look at lava and say, gimme.
We have the spell Booming Blade. This has gesture components and a material component. A melee weapon worth at least 1 silver.
Basically, if you don't got a sword, you ain't casting the spell.
Melee weapon. You can use stuff other than a sword, but it just needs to be a melee weapon.
I'm just being catty.
Fair enough. It lasts for 1 round. You brandish the weapon used in the spell's casting and make a melee attack against 1 creature within 5 feet of you. On a hit, take damage as normal, and then it becomes sheathed in booming energy until the start of your next turn. If it moves willingly 5 feet or more before your next turn, it takes 1d8 thunder damage. The spell's damage increases when you hit certain levels. At 5th, it increases to it adds an extra 1d8 thunder damage to a target on a hit, and the damage the target takes for moving increases to 2d8. Both damage rolls increase by 1d8 at 11th level to 2d8 and 3d8, and again at 17th to 3d8 and 4d8.
Yeah. All that is very specific. So until 5th level, you're only dealing damage if you hit it and then it moves.
Right.
But this is very good for Eldritch Knights.
Yes, who I believe are capable of using this spell, since it's a wizard spell, and Eldritch Knights use the wizard spell list.
Yeah, this and the other blade cantrip that we're going to be seeing later are very good for Eldritch Knights. A lot of people were happy, and they could really make or break an Eldritch Knight. Yeah. Because here's the thing with Eldritch Knights, if you spend your entire action casting a cantrip at higher levels, you can then use a bonus action to hit with that extra attack you have.
Yeah, so basically you can do a cast and melee, which is nice.
Because the thing about Fighter is, I have all these extra attacks, I want to use them.
Yep. So
why would I spend my time casting a spell? Eldritch Knight goes, well, you can do both.
Yeah. Scrolling down. The next spell, we have Dream of the Blue Veil. This is a 7th level spell. It's a ritual, so it takes 10 minutes of casting time, range of 20 feet, verbal, somatic, and material components, a magic item or willing creature from the destination plane. It lasts for 6 hours.
Yeah.
You and up to 8 willing creatures within range fall unconscious for the spell's duration, and experience visions of another world on the material plane, such as... I can't pronounce that. Toril.
Oerth.
Yeah, Oerth, Toril, Kryn, or Eberron. For context, Kryn is the world of the Dragonlance novels.
Unsure about Oerth.
Yeah, I think Oerth is where Greyhawk is.
Maybe.
And Toril, I am drawing a complete blank on Toril. When I edit this all together into like a big supercut type thing, I'll paste in what the heck Toril is. If the spell reaches its full duration, the visions conclude with each of you encountering and pulling back a mysterious blue curtain. The spell then ends with you mentally and physically transported to the world that was in the visions. To cast this spell, you must have a magic item that originated on the world you wish to reach, and you must be aware of the world's existence, even if you don't know the world's name. Your destination in the other worlds is a safe location within 1 mile of where the magic item was created. Alternatively, you can cast the spell if one of the affected creatures was born on the other world, causing your destination to be a safe location within 1 mile of where that creature was born. The spell ends early on a creature if that creature takes any damage and it is not transported. If you take any damage, the spell ends for everyone and none of you are transported.
Yeah, and then here's this big thing.
Traveling to other worlds. The material plane holds an infinite number of worlds. Some, like Oerth, Toril, Kryn, and Eberron, are well documented, but there are countless others. You and your friends may even have created some homemade worlds yourselves. It was not always so. Various scholars speak of a primordial state, a single reality they call the First World, which preceded the multiverse as they know it. Many of the peoples and monsters that inhabit the worlds in the material plane originated there. After the First World was shattered by a great cataclysm, giving birth to the worlds that came in his wake, the progeny of the first elves, dwarves, beholders, and other iconic creatures took root on world after world like seeds scattered by a cosmic wind. If the musing of these great sages is true, every world is a reflection, and in some cases a distortion, of the first world. Transit between these worlds is rare but not impossible, and can be accomplished in various ways. This journey often occurs aboard a one such method is called the Great Journey, an epic voyage fraught with peril and littered with obstacles to be overcome. Yes, Walter, this is great potential for shenanigans.
Oh yeah, 100%.
This journey most often occurs aboard a magic-powered vessel. Another method is the Dream of Other Worlds. Travelers fall into a deep slumber and dream themselves into a new realm. The spell Dream of the Blue Veil employs this method of transit. The most direct method is the Leap to Another Realm. The spellcaster casts Teleportation Circle or Teleport, aiming to appear in a known teleportation circle or some other location in another world. Whatever method you use to reach a world, the DM determines whether you succeed and where exactly you appear if you get there. If you want to explain how a character with stuff from one world got to the world the campaign is set in, this is how you do it.
Or if you have this really good Theros party, but you've run out of Theros adventures, and you want to continue adventuring, bye-bye Theros!
Have them go somewhere else on an adventure. Yes, many shenanigans are a possibility. Moving on to Green Flame Blade.
Yes, the other thing that makes Eldritch Knights fun.
It's an evocation cantrip, casting time of 1 action, self-range, some gesture, and basically it has the same logistics behind it as a Booming Blade. You brandish the weapon used in the spell's casting and make a melee attack against one creature within 5 feet of you. Oh, that would be a terrible idea.
What?
Lizard Folk Barbarian getting a rust monster as a pet.
Okay.
And then taking a trip to Archeron.
Oh, fun.
I'm pretty sure that's a place made almost entirely of metal.
Yep.
So in other words, for a rust monster... Oh, Lizard Folk Monk, my bad. Basically, it's taking a rust monster to an all-you-can-eat buffet.
Yep.
On a hit, suffers weapon's normal effects, and you cause green fire to leap from the target to a different creature of your choice that you can see within 5 feet of it. The second creature takes fire damage equal to your spellcasting ability modifier. At 5th level, the melee attack deals an extra d8 fire damage to the target on a hit, and the fire damage to the second creature increases to 1d8 plus your spellcasting ability modifier. This is generally considered your intelligence because you're using the wizard spell list.
Well, it's not only for wizards.
Let's just back up.
It can also be used by artificers, sorcerers
and warlocks. Fair enough.
And wizards.
I
so
didn't
this
know
also makes a good hexblade spell.
Okay. So, I didn't know something special happens to rust monsters when they go to Archeron. I assume I am about to be told what that is. Anywho, so in other words, so both these damage rolls increase by 1d8 11th level to 2d8 and 2d8. And at 17th level, they increase to 3d8 and 3d8.
So you got a sword that specializes something on a crit. Crit with the sword on a green flame blade strike. You get all those effects.
You get all of the damage. Intellect Fortress. It's a 3rd level Abjuration class spell. So apparently, when a rust monster is taken to Archeron, they basically gorge themselves, and then they undergo a metamorphosis into a rust dragon. This sounds like something really, really freaking stupid, but I'm pretty sure that's actually what happens. I'll have to look it up later, but yes. Intellect Fortress, 3rd level Abjuration, casting time, 1 action, range, 30 feet. Verbal components. You don't need to be able to move your hands, you just need to be able to make noises with your mouth. It lasts for concentration or an hour, whichever ends first. For the duration, you or one willing creature you see within range has resistance to psychic damage, as well as advantage on intelligence, wisdom, and charisma saving throws. At higher levels, when you cast this spell using a spell slot of 4th level or higher, you can target one additional creature for each slot level above 3rd. These creatures must be within 30 feet of you.
Just nullifying half of a Mind Blast from a Mind Flare.
Yeah, just... No! That's actually a really pretty appearance for that spell.
Yeah. And then, the cantrip I wanted at the beginning of my game with lava, but nope, it's Sword Coast, so I couldn't have it.
Lightning Lure. It's a cantrip. 1 action for casting time. Self-range, 15-foot radius. Verbal components, and its duration is instantaneous. You create a lash of lightning energy that strikes at one creature of your choice you can see within 15 feet of you. It must succeed on a strength saving throw or be pulled up to 10 feet in a straight line towards you and take 1d8 lightning damage if it is within 5 feet of you. This spell's damage increases by 1d8 when you reach 5th level, 11th level, and 17th level, maxing out at 4d8 points of damage.
And then, the new cantrip. Mind Sliver. Kinda looks like this.
I don't know what that person is doing or to what.
That's a Salad.
Oh, a slot. Okay.
Oh, whoops.
We don't need to see that yet. Mind Sliver. It's a cantrip, enchantment class, 1 action, 60 feet, verbal components, and lasts for a round. You drive a disorienting spike of psychic energy into the mind of one creature you can see within range. The target must succeed on an intelligence saving throw or take 1d6 psychic damage and subtract 1d4 from the next saving throw it makes. This damage increases by 1d6 when you reach certain levels, 5th, 11th, and 17th, maxing out at 4d6 points of damage. New spells from S to Z.
Lot of summons.
Yes, and lots of summon tables.
Here we go.
Spirit Shroud. It is a 3rd level necromancy class spell. It costs a bonus action to cast, self-based range, verbal and somatic components. It lasts for your concentration or a minute, whichever ends first. You call forth spirits of the dead, which flit around you for the spell's duration. The spirits are intangible and invulnerable. Until the spell ends, any attack you make deals 1d8 extra damage when you hit a creature within 10 feet of you. This damage is radiant, necrotic, or cold, your choice when you cast. Any creature that takes this damage can't regain hit points until the start of your next turn. Excuse me, what?
Yep.
In addition, any creature of your choice you can see that starts its turn within 10 feet of you has its speed reduced by 10 feet until the start of your next turn. At higher levels, when you cast this spell using a slot of 4th level or higher, damage increases by d8 for every 2 spell slots above 3rd. So in other words, if you're casting this at a higher level, you have to be using an even-numbered spell slot.
Right.
Well, an even-numbered level spell slot. Should have been more clear. Yes, Magic the Gathering slivers are way more disturbing than a nice happy little spell, which is essentially a brain laser.
I have brain lasers.
Me and my big mouth. Anyway.
Next, summon Aberration.
4th level Conjuration. Casting time, 1 action. Range, 90 feet. Components, verbal, somatic, and material components. a pickled tentacle, and an eyeball in a platinum inlaid vial worth at least 400 gold pieces. You can just sort of spam, you can just get these and then use them over and over and over again, because it does not say they are destroyed by casting the spell.
Consumed by the spell.
Right.
Eaten fully by the spell.
You call forth an Aberrant Spirit. It manifests in an unoccupied space that you can see within range. Its corporeal form uses the Aberrant Spirit stat block. When you cast the spell, choose Beholderkin, Slod, or Starspawn. The creature resembles an aberration of that kind, which determines certain traits in the stat block. The creature disappears when it drops to 0 hit points or when the spell ends. The creature is an ally to you and your companions. In combat, the creature shares your initiative count but takes its turn immediately after yours. It obeys your verbal commands, no action required for you. If you don't issue any, it takes the dodge action and uses its move to avoid danger. Higher levels. When you cast the spell using 5th level or using a spell slot of 5th level or higher, use the higher level wherever the spell's level appears in the stat block. Scroll down. So here we have the Aberrant Spirit stat block. These creatures are weaker than true aberrations, but they can still pack a punch.
Yep. And depending on which one you choose, it does have things for it.
Yes. For example, if you choose a Slod, it has regeneration and a claw attack. If you pick a Starspawn, it has Whispering Aura and a Psychic Slam. And if you pick Beholders, eyeball lasers.
Pew, 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 pew. And it has a fly speed.
Yeah. Moving on. Sorry. Material components: a feather, tuft of
Same
fur. Same thing as summon aberration, only differently flavored.
Yes.
A feather, a tuft
you
of
cut out
fur.
hard for me there, though, but I didn't know you were already describing the spell. I'm sorry.
It's okay. A feather, a tuft of fur, and a fishtail, or inside a gilded acorn worth at least 200 gold pieces. Concentration, or up to an hour. You call forth a bestial spirit. It manifests in an unoccupied space you can see within range. This corporeal form uses the bestial spirit stat block. When you cast this spell, choose an environment: air, land, or water. This creature resembles an animal of your choice that is native to the chosen environment, which determines certain traits in its stat block. It disappears if it drops to zero, blah 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 blah, standard summoned creature rules.
So, an air beast will only have 20, and the land or water will have 30, plus 5 for each spell level.
Yep. Flyby has, the air spirits have a flyby attack.
Pack tactics for land and water.
And water breathing for water. But all of them have access to multi-attack and maul.
Which, doing a D8 is nice.
Yeah, especially at the level you get this.
Next, the fun one. Summon Celestial. Let's get these Celestial Badgers, boys.
Fifth level conjuration spell, 1 action, 90 feet, verbal somatic material components, a golden reliquary worth at least 500 gold pieces, concentration, or an hour, whichever ends first. You call forth a celestial spirit. It manifests in an angelic form in an unoccupied space that you can see within range. This corporeal form uses the celestial spirit stat block. When you cast the spell, choose Avenger or Defender. Your choice determines the creature's attacks. Blah 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 blah. Summoned spirit rules. It's your Yes, it appears they've lifted the thing where Celestial is a template that can be applied to various creatures.
You can still make them look like badgers.
Yes, you can still... Although if it's a large one, it would be more a Celestial Dire Badger.
Do it. I summon a Celestial Dire Badger Avenger. It pops out. It's got Wolverine claws on top of its badger claws. Why? Because it's really angry.
Why? Because why not? 11, its armor class is 11, plus the spell level of the armor, natural armor, plus 2 for a defender class. Multi-attack, Radiant Bow, Avenger only, Radiant Mace, Defender only, and Healing Touch. We will get to the summon demons.
I have a question, though. Why he be naked?
Because it's an angel and they don't care.
Like, just move the cloth and this boy naked.
Definitely you would be able to. Celestial and Fiendish are... In 3.5, they were templates that could be applied to various creatures. So yes, you could have a Fiendish Dire Badger if you felt like really making the party suffer for their life choices.
Because Honey Badger don't give a
Yeah. Especially one that's infused with demons.
Been 3 minutes, am I allowed to cuss yet?
Oh my god, why?
You're really making me want to stop play Fake Go and read the chat. And it's my last day to grind.
I'm sorry, I'll read it and try not to laugh too hard. So it's a comment upon the fact that the Summoned Celestial is a good stiff breeze away from being completely naked.
Yeah.
Gaze upon his holy dingle and tremble. I'm dying.
Gaze upon the holy cod piece.
I'm okay. I'm okay.
She's still okay, everyone. Keep making holy dick jokes.
Felix!
I want this chat full of nothing but holy dick jokes.
Felix!
Oh.
Summon Construct, 4th level Conjuration. This one for the material. This one acts the same as the other spell compo. This one is saved in the. This one is the same as the other summon ones, except for the material component. An ornate stone and metal lockbox worth at least 400 gold pieces. Again, concentration or an hour, whichever ends first. You call forth the spirit of a construct. Manifest an unoccupied space, uses the construct spirit stat block. It becomes either a clay, metal, or stone creature. It resembles either a golem or a modron, your choice, made of the chosen material, which determines certain traits in its stat block. Ruby, no!
Now I really want to know.
Construct Spirit. 13, armor class 13, plus the level of the spell, natural armor, hit points, 40, plus 15 for each spell level above 3rd. Its abilities, heated body, metal only. A creature that touches the construct or hits it with a melee attack while within 5 feet of it takes 1d10 fire damage. Ruby, no!
Ruby, yes!
Stony Lethargy, stone only. When a creature the construct can see starts its turn within 10 feet of the construct can force it to make a wisdom saving throw against your spell DC. On a failed save, the target can't use reactions, and its speed is halved until the start of next turn. And for reactions, the Clay Golem has Berserk Lashing. When the construct takes damage, it makes a slam attack against a random creature within 5 feet of it. If no creature is within range, the construct moves up to half its speed towards an enemy it can see, without provoking opportunity attacks. That can be hazardous to the health. Just
summon.
Oh, God. Oh god.
I gotta look now.
Uh,
You can't tell me not to.
oh god.
What is this chat doing?
Oh god. Summon Elemental.
Oh god.
Casting time, 1 action, range 90 feet, yada yada yada. Material components: an air, a pebble, ash, and water inside a gold inlaid vial worth at least 400 gold pieces. Duration, concentration, or an hour, whichever comes first. Summon an elemental spirit, manifest in an unoccupied space, use the elemental spirit stat block, choose an element, earth, air, fire, water. Summons a bipedal form wreathed by the chosen element, which determines certain traits in the stat block, yada yada yada, standard summon creature things.
Oh, it determines resistances.
Damage
And-
immunities, fire. The fire elemental is the only one immune to fire.
Of course. Oh, and some speed things. Earth's got to burrow. Air's got to fly. Water's got to swim. And everyone slam attack except for fire does bludgeoning. Fire does fire.
Because fire. Moving along. Summon Fae. 3rd level conjuration, same as all of the others, except the material component is a gilded flower worth at least 300 gold pieces. For context, to gild something means to coat it in gold.
Yeah.
I don't know what to do with any of you people.
I think this entire chat needs to go to horny jail.
I don't know what to do with any of you people. You call forth a Fae Spirit. It manifests in an unoccupied space you see within range. It uses the Fae Spirit stat block. When you cast the spell, choose a mood: fuming, mirthful, or tricksy. It resembles a Fae creature of your choice marked by the chosen mood, which determines one of its traits in the stat block. Same as all the other summoning stuff. Yes, they are chaos, and thank you for whoever in the chat is just quietly not joining in the chaos. Fae Spirit. The abilities determined by the type are as follows. Fuming. It has advantage on the next attack roll it makes before the end of the turn.
It's got to use a bonus action to do that, though. All these fuming, mirthful, or tricksy things, they're bonus actions.
Yep. The rest is bog standard across the board. Now for the interesting one. Summon Fiend.
Oh, we're not going to go over mirthful or tricksy?
Oh, my bad. Mirthful. It can say, basically, it can charm your opponents for you, and tricksy, hey look! 5-foot cube within 5 feet of magical darkness.
Just boom, lights up for you. Boom, lights up for you.
Because tricksy ones are, tricksy.
Summon Fiend.
Same as all the other summon spells, but the material component is a 6th level conjuration, and the material component is humanoid blood inside a ruby vial worth at least 600 gold pieces. You call forth a fiend. What?
You can summon a Yugoloth, goddamn.
Yeah. You can call forth a fiendish spirit. It manifests in an unoccupied space that you can see within range. This corporeal form uses the fiendish spirit stat block. When you cast the spell, choose Demon, Devil, or Yugoloth. The creature resembles a fiend of the chosen type, which determines certain traits in its stat block. The creature disappears when it drops to 0 hit points or the spell ends, yada yada yada, standard summon creature stuff.
Which, I like that this is a summoned fiend that obeys you.
Yeah. It does what you tell it to do. There's nothing about saying it's happy about it. Okay, so it has natural armor, which is 12 plus the level of the spell. Demons start at 50 hit points. Devils start at 40, and Yugoloths start at 60, plus 15 for each spell level above 6th.
Demon's gotta climb, devil's gotta fly.
Yep. Death throws. Demon only.
When it dies, it explodes.
A creature must take 2d10 plus this spell level's fire damage on a successful save, or half on a successful. Devil's Sight, devil only. Magical darkness doesn't impede its vision. Bite, demon only. Claw, Yugoloth only. Hurl fire, devil only.
Yep.
Summon Shadow Spawn.
Tears inside it. How do you get tears inside a gem?
I don't rightly know.
How do you get tears inside a gem?
I don't know. But yes, I'm pretty sure 90% of the chat needs to go to Horny Jail. Moving along, you call
Ruby.
You call forth a shadowy spirit. It manifests in an unoccupied space that you can see within range. This corporeal form uses the shadow spirit stat block. When you cast the spell, choose an emotion: fury, despair, or fear. This creature resembles a misshapen biped marked by the chosen emotion, which determines certain traits in its stat block. Yada yada yada, summon spirit things. Oh, so maybe the idea is that that the gem is supposed to be hollowed out and then the tears funneled into it.
Maybe?
Seems like a lot of work, though.
To hollow out a gem, you better... Yeah, that's definitely losing some of that market value. So you gotta buy a gem so much more than what it's worth, and then hollow it out and cry into it, and hope that still holds that... How much? 300 gold?
Yeah.
What the...
Summon Shadow Spawn!
Oh, God. I don't like that. I'm gonna use it.
It never said they were pretty!
I don't like it. I'm gonna use it. Stat block?
Stat block. Shadow Spirit. For context here, there is a little bit of a delay between us and the chat. Shadow Spirit. 35 hit points, blah 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 blah. Terror Frenzy. Fury only. The spirit has advantage on attack rolls against frightened creatures. Weight of Sorrow. Despair only. Any creature, other than you, that starts its turn within 5 feet of the creature has its speed reduced by 20 feet until the start of that creature's next turn. And, I'm sorry, the Shadow Spawn are scary looking. They are kind of... They are. They're scary to me, too, and I'm an adult.
That's...
That's something special right there.
Yeah, and
apparently Rep has named it Lenny.
Yeah. Here's where that frightened thing comes in for the Terror Frenzy.
The spirit's dreadful scream once a day. Basically, it screams and people gain the frightened condition for a minute.
If they don't succeed a wisdom save.
Yep. The fear one can hide while in dim light or darkness.
As a bonus action.
Yep. Let's just hurry on past the nightmare fuel.
I'm not even gonna make that full screen, jeez.
Just no.
Undead! You gotta spend $300 making a skull gold for this one.
Yeah, making a gilded skull for summoning the undead. You call forth an undead spirit, manifest in occupied space, corporeal form, use the undead spirit stat block, choose between ghostly, putrid, or skeletal. The spirit resembles an undead creature with the chosen form which determines certain traits in its stat block. The creature disappears when it drops to 0 hit points, or the spell ends. Yada yada yada. Let's scroll down a little bit. Ghostly and putrids start with 30. Skeletals start with 20, plus 10 for each spell level above 3rd. Ghost ones have a hover speed. Well, fly, technically.
And they can hover.
Yes. Festering aura, putrid only. Basically, this thing smells so rank. You
it can
save
poison
while standing next to it, or you get the poisoned condition. Incorporeal passage for the ghostly ones. Deathly Touch, ghostly only. Grave Bolt, skeletal only. Rotting Claw, putrid only.
Sword Burst, and we're back to Sword Coast spells.
Yes. You create a momentary circle of spectral blades that sweep around you. All other creatures within 5 feet of you must succeed on a dex throw or take 1d6 force damage. It increases by 1d6 when you reach 5th, 11th, and 17th levels, maxing out at 4d6.
Tasha's Caustic Brew.
First level evocation, range, self, 30-foot line, components, verbal, somatic, material. The material components being a bit of rotted food. A stream of acid emanates from you in a line 30 feet long and 5 feet wide in a direction you choose. Each creature in the line must succeed on a dex save or be covered in acid for the spell's duration, or until it uses an action to scrape or wash the acid off itself. A creature still covered in the acid takes 2d4 acid damage at the start of each of its turns. When you cast this spell using a spell slot of 2nd level or higher, the damage increases by 2d4 for each slot level above first. That's quietly terrifying.
Yeah, no, just set it and forget it.
Yeah.
You want your damage over time? Here it is.
Here's how you get your damage over time.
Next, Tasha's Mind Whip.
Those gnolls are having a bad day.
Yeah.
You psychically lash out at one creature you see within range. The target must make an intelligence saving throw. On a failed save, it takes 3d6 psychic damage and can't take a reaction until its next turn.
The end of its next turn.
Until the end of its next turn. Moreover, on its next turn, it must choose whether it gets a move, an action, or a bonus action. It only gets one of the three. On a successful save, it takes half and none of the other spell's effects. When you cast this spell using a spell slot of 3rd level or higher, you can target one additional creature for each slot above 3rd. The creatures must be within at least 30 feet of each other when you target them.
Finally! Tasha's Otherworldly Guise.
6th level Transmutation. Verbal somatic material components, an object engraved with a symbol of the outer planes worth at least 500 gold. Concentration, or a minute, whichever comes first. Uttering an incantation, you draw on the magic of the lower or upper planes, your choice, to transform yourself. You gain the following benefits until spell ends. You are immune to fire and poison damage, lower planes, or radiant and necrotic damage, upper planes. You are immune to the poisoned condition, lower planes, or the charmed condition, upper planes. Spectral wings appear on your back, giving you a flying speed of 40 feet. You gain a +2 bonus to armor class. All your weapon attacks are magical, and when you make a weapon attack, you can use your spellcasting ability modifier instead of strength or dexterity for your attack and damage rolls. You can attack twice instead of once when you take the attack action on your turn. You ignore this benefit if you already have an extra attack feature.
Then here's a little bit on personalizing your spells.
Aw, this is kind of cute.
Tasha?
Personalizing spells. When I first learned magic from Baba Yaga, I couldn't help but add spectral chicken legs to all my spells. She said she wasn't a fan, but I caught her grinning a few times. So of course I still add those legs. What use is magic if you can't harness it to amuse your mom? She has a point.
I just want to show you this picture down here. This is a magic missile spell.
But it looks like chickens!
Because it's from a farmer gnome.
That is one very confused-looking gnoll.
Yeah, just like, what?
That gnoll is having a day. Given certain feats, yes. This is, Could you scroll up a bit?
Yeah.
This is this is cosmetics of a spell. Just as every performer lends their art a personal flair, every warrior asserts their fighting styles through the lens of their own training, so too can a spellcaster use magic to express their individuality. Regardless of what type of spellcaster you're playing, you can customize the cosmetic effects of your character's spells. I want to say this right now. There is a sorcerer meta magic that lets you change the damage your spells do.
Oh, you bet I took that already. I'm gonna be casting Shatter that does acid damage. Watch me.
Next spell, you choose to make your caster's spells appear in their favorite color, to suggest the training they received from Celestial Mentor, or to exhibit their connection to a season of the year. The possibilities for how you might cosmetically customize your character's spells are endless. However, the alterations cannot change the effect of a spell. They also can't make one spell look like another. For example, you can't make a magic missile behave like a fireball. Yes, but this is giving ideas for people who never thought about that before, Bean. When customizing your character's magic, consider developing a theme. Often the broader and more versatile, the better. Describe your character's magic whenever you wish, particularly when it makes an interesting addition to a story. You may use it to reinforce other choices you've made for your character, making a bard's spells tied more closely to their favorite art form, or a cleric's spells themed around their deity. Yes, that is a thing you can make your fireball do, Rep. The DM might make it do psychic damage as well just for that color scheme, but good lord. Yes, you could not make it do bludgeoning damage.
Take 1 point of plaid cringe damage.
Yes.
Everyone who witnessed this, take 1 point of plaid cringe damage.
Yes, for example, the fireball of a wizard with fondness for storms might erupt to look like burning clouds or a burst of red lightning, without affecting the spell's damage type. While the same wizard's haste spell might line the target in faint thunderheads. Alternatively, a cleric who serves a moon god might radiate faint moonlight around their hands when they cast Cure Wounds, or their shield of faith might surround the target with glimmering crescent moons. Further still, and this is some straight-up magical girl shenanigans, a druid could choose a cherry blossom theme for their magic, causing delicate branches and pink leaves to grow when they cast Entangle or Shillelagh, or whatever. Or their fairy fire spell could appear more like wind-tossed petals than flames. That is some straight-up magical girl anime shenanigans.
And then we have a magical themes table. Just in case you...
could you scroll up a little bit?
Oh, okay.
The magic themes table offers a few suggestions. D10. Book pages, origami, quills, ink, all accompanied by the rustling sounds and smells of a library.
I got a 3.
Brine-scented shapes of sharks, jellyfish, octopi, and other sea creatures. Food or utensils that carry the scent of cuisine from the caster's homeland. Rich copper scents accompanied by what appear to be the caster's own imbalanced humors. Ew.
Chilele.
Ew. Bursts and strokes of watercolor, accompanied by an invisible brush. Transparent weapons, armor, miniature war machines, phantom soldiers. Golden rays that carry faint warmth and the hint of wind-blown sand. Rowdy barnyard animals, accompanied by the warm scents of coops and stables. Manifestations of deep emotions, like the faint shackles of melancholy, sepia shades of nostalgia, or heart-shaped bursts of affection. Tiny, whimsical, or fearsome beings from the caster's escapable, recurring dreams.
Magic Girl.
Yes.
Magic Girl shenanigans. Next chapter, my favorite chapter!
Now we're into the good bit. Magic items.
Magic items, baby! Give me that loot! Give me that loot! Give me that loot! Give me that loot!
Hey, dear.
Make Susan giggle! Make Susan giggle! Make Susan giggle!
Anyways, on to the magical items.
Oh, is lava there?
The muscular chef is in the Monster Hunter movie, by the way, just thought, you know why.
Does that be that boy?
He was here, but now he has departed.
Oh, damn.
While a magic item like that exists, Ruby, it is not for the purpose you are thinking.
It depends on who's running the campaign.
It is not for that purpose.
Mm-hmm.
Anywho, on to the magical items. This one introduces some new items, magical tattoos, prosthetic limb. Could you scroll down a little bit?
I thought you were going to read this, but...
Oh, okay.
And then we just skip the table, because it's the whole table, and just go straight into doing the things.
Okay. This section presents magical items that can be introduced into any campaign. Here you'll find items of all rarities, including artifacts. Magic spellcasting focuses for every spellcasting class are also available here, and some of the items included in this section represent a new type of item, magical tattoos. The magic items table lists all magic items in this chapter and notes the rarity of each one. The chapter also indicates whether each item requires attunement. All items use the magic item rules in the DM's guide. So, I'm unfamiliar with it. How exactly does attunement work?
Simple. You spend an hour, you focus on the thing, and then it's yours.
Oh, okay. That makes sense. And no, Ruby,
Yeah.
This is not me spoiling your fun. This is me saying that item with that explicit purpose does not exist.
Here are all the things. Oh boy, am I so excited for these in particular. Especially this one.
Let's get to it. Anywho.
Tasha?
Who doesn't love magic items? The desire for them is one of the few things Mordenkainen and I have in common. And magic tattoos? They're especially fun. I think tattoos are a reason robes are so popular with wizards. Robes cover the ankle and lower back tattoos, so many of us got as apprentices. Don't even ask.
Does Tasha have a tramp stamp? That's what I need to know.
You wanna know? You ask her. I'm not in charge of you getting turned into a newt.
Magic tattoos.
Blending magic and artistry with ink and needles, magic tattoos imbue the bearer with wondrous abilities. Magic tattoos are initially bound to magic needles, which transfer their magic to a creature. Once inscribed on a creature's body, damage or injury doesn't impair the tattoo's function. Even if a tattoo is defaced, when applying a magic tattoo, the creature can customize the tattoo's appearance. A magic tattoo can look like a brand, scarification, a birthmark, patterns of scale, or any other cosmetic alteration. The rarer a magic tattoo is, the more space it typically occupies on a character's skin. The table below offers guidelines for how large a given tattoo is. These are what is about to begin. Holy, that is a big needle.
Yeah, and look at punk rock elf boy.
He is somehow okay with this. Scroll down. These are examples of area, but they could, in theory, be put anywhere.
Yeah, it's just, how big
is this thing? A common rarity one would be on a hand or a foot, or covering a quarter of a limb.
Basically those little cute design tattoos that you're like, oh look, it's my puppy dog's face on my shoulder.
Yeah. Uncommon are ones that are like a half sleeve style tattoo, or you've shaved your head and tattooed your scalp.
Which, if you want to go that punk rock with it, go right on ahead.
You're gonna have to keep shaving your head!
I tattooed my brain!
Rarer ones cover your entire limb. So, I'm gonna say that means from wrist to shoulder.
Full sleeve.
Yeah. Very rare, 2 limbs, or the chest or upper back. Legendary ones cover both limbs and the torso.
Yep. And now here we go. Magic item descriptions. Starting with the letter A. There's a lot of A's.
Yeah. Absorbing Tattoo. Wondrous item. Tattoo. Very rare. Requires attunement. So that gives you the idea of the size of this. Produced by a special needle, this tattoo features designs that emphasize one color. Tattoo attunement. To attune to this item, you hold the needle to your skin where you want the tattoo to appear, pressing the needle there throughout the attunement process. When the attunement is complete, the needle turns into the ink that becomes the tattoo, which appears on the skin. If your attunement to the tattoo ends, the tattoo vanishes and the needle reappears in your space. Damage resistance. While the tattoo is on your skin, you have resistance to a type of damage associated with that color. The DM chooses the color or determines it randomly.
D10, here's your colors. Green, acid. Blue, cold. Red, fire. White, force. Yellow, lightning. Black, necrotic. Violet, poison, which I might just get the violet because it's, violet.
Because
Silver,
you
psychic.
like purple.
Gold, radiant. Orange, thunder. Purple is best color.
You take
Damage absorption.
damage immunity to that instance of damage, and you regain a number of hit points equal to half the damage you would have taken. You'll need to wait for the next sunrise. So if a force tattoo were to be placed across the chest, would that do I imagine that might do something against something to help with recoil, but it's only usable for one instance.
Yep.
Alchemical Compendium. Wondrous item, rare, requires attunement by a wizard. Acrid odors cling to the stained, heavy volume. The book's metal fittings are copper, iron, lead, silver, and gold, some frozen mid-transition from one metal to another. When found, this book contains the following spells: Enlarge or Reduce, Featherfall, Flesh to Stone, Gaseous Form, Magic Weapon, and Polymorph. It functions as a spell book. While you are holding this book, you can use it as a spellcasting focus for your wizard spells. It holds 3 charges and regains 1d3, or basically it will regain either 1/3, 2/3, or all of its expended charges daily at dawn. You can use the charges in the following ways while holding it. You can spend 1 minute, if you spend 1 minute studying the book, you can expend 1 charge to replace one of your prepared wizard spells with a different spell in the book. The new spell must be of the Transmutation school. As an action, you can touch one non-magical object that isn't being worn or carried and spend a number of charges to transform the object into another object. For 1 charge, the object can be no larger than 1 foot on one side. You can spend additional charges to increase the maximum dimensions by 2 feet per charge. The new objects must have a gold value equal to or less than the original. All-purpose tool. Wondrous item ranging from uncommon to very rare. Requires attunement by an artificer. This simple screwdriver can turn into a variety of tools. As an action, you can touch the item and transform it into a type of artisan's tools. See the equipment chapter in the player's handbook for a list. Whatever form it takes, you are proficient with it. While holding this tool, you gain a bonus to the spell attack rolls and saving throw DCs of your artificer spells. This bonus is determined by the tool's rarity.
You okay?
Yes, as an action, you can focus the tool to channel your creative forces. Choose a cantrip you don't know from any class list. For 8 hours. When you cast that, you can cast that cantrip, and it counts as an artificer cantrip for you. Once this property is used, it can't be used again until the next dawn. Amulet of the Devout. This amulet bear wondrous item, uncommon, ranging from uncommon to very rare, requires attunement by a cleric or paladin. This amulet bears the symbol of a deity, inlaid with precious stones or metals. While you wear the holy symbol, you gain a bonus to spell attack rolls and the saving throw DCs of your spells. Bonus determined by the amulet's rarity. While you wear this amulet, you can use your channel divinity feature without expending one of the feature's uses. Once this property has been used, it can't be used again until the next dawn. Arcane Grimoire. Wondrous item ranging from uncommon to very rare, requiring attunement by a wizard. Functions exactly like Amulet of the Devout, except for a wizard.
Yep.
Astral Shard. Wondrous item, rare, requires sorcerer attunement. This crystal is a solidified piece of the astral plane, swirling with silver mist. As an action, you can attach the shard to a tiny object, such as a weapon or a piece of jewelry, or detach it. It falls off if your attunement ends. You can use the shard as a spellcasting focus for your sorcerer spells while you wear or hold it. When you use a meta magic option on a spell while you are holding or wearing the shard, immediately after casting the spell, you can teleport to an unoccupied space you can see within 30 feet.
Big one, Astronomy Archive.
Astromancy Archive.
It basically is the same thing as the Alchemical Compendium, but for divination instead of transmutation.
Okay. That makes sense, I guess. Atlas of Endless Horizons.
Yeah. It's got these spells. This one, it's fun. It's a brass ring of concentric rings.
Concentric.
And you can... Concentric, thank you. I'm dumb, and sometimes I need help. Thank you. It's got a couple divination spells in it, augury, but it's this sphere that you can just make flat rings, and it functions as a book.
Yeah. It's kind of cool, honestly.
And this is the big thing. It's kind of a divination thing.
Oh,
but...
you have a serious question, Ruby?
Waiting
yeah.
for a serious question.
But yeah, so basically what you're saying is this book can cause bless to occur to a creature.
Bless or bane. Oh, transmutation? Turning one thing into a different one. Like turning iron into gold.
Transmutation is the magical school of turning one thing into another thing.
And here we have the same type of spell book, but for conjuration.
Yep.
And,
yeah. Yes, Rep, it is literally just turning one thing into a different thing. Yes, actually, like alchemy as presented in Full Metal Alchemist franchise.
Yep.
They call it, literally, transmutation circles.
No, that's something else.
That is a different spell entirely, Rep.
Atlas of Endless Horizons. It's the spell book, but for conjuration. And its fun thing is...
Conjuration is the magic dedicated to getting one thing from one point to another point. Summoning, teleportations, arcane doors. Basically, moving something from where it is to where you want it to be is conjuration.
This book comes with gate. Jesus.
Yes, Rep, it is still technically turning one thing into a different thing, but what you're describing is a different spell entirely.
You're describing true polymorph.
Yes, true polymorph is what will make what you want.
Yep. This one's fun thing is, if you're hit by an attack, you can use your action, blow one of this thing's charges, and teleport out. If your new position's out of the range of the attack, it misses you.
It's just like, nope!
Yeah. Next, our first artifact of the book. Baba Yaga's mortar and pestle.
If you come across this, scary times are about to be had.
Yeah, you want to read this?
Yes. The creations of the immortal hag Baba Yaga defy the laws of mortal magic. Among the notorious implements that cement her legends on countless worlds are the artifacts that propel her through the plains. Baba Yaga's mortar and pestle. These signature tools of Baba Yaga are a single artifact for the purposes of atonement. Should the two objects become separated? Yes,
Baba
Ruby,
Yaga.
you did just hear what you think you hear. Baba Yaga is in this book.
Yeah.
Should the two objects become separated, the pestle appears next to the mortar at dawn. Could you scroll down a little bit? Not enough that the random properties are gone, but the bowl thing is the mortar, and the rod is the pestle.
Yep. Oh yeah, no, they use Baba Yaga a lot.
Yes, Baba Yaga is actually the one who raised Tasha.
Who wrote the book?
Yeah. This artifact has the following random properties, which you can determine by rolling on tables in the artifact section of the Dungeon Master's Guide. 2 minor beneficial properties, 1 major beneficial property, and 1 minor detrimental property. A night hag has
this isn't Baba Yaga.
This is not Baba Yaga, this is a night hag.
Yeah. But
who has taken it for a spin. We presume Baba Yaga will not be pleased.
Yep. But yeah, read what this does. It's kind of stupid.
Properties of the mortar. The mortar is a tiny wooden bowl. However, the mortar increases in size to accommodate anything you place in it, expanding, if there's enough space, up to large size, meaning it can hold even a large size creature. Properties of the pestle. The pestle is a 6-inch long worn wooden tool. During your turn, while you are holding the pestle, you can extend it into a quarterstaff or shrink it back into a pestle. No action required. As a quarterstaff, the pestle is a magic weapon that grants +3 bonus to attack and damage rolls made with it, so it can turn into a +3 quarterstaff.
Yep.
The pestle has 12 charges. If you hit with a melee attack using the pestle, you can expend up to 3 charges to deal an extra 1d8 force damage for each charge expended. The pestle regains all expended charges daily at dawn. Perfect tools. While holding the mortar and pestle, you can use your action to say the name of any non-magical plant, mineral, or fluid, and an amount of material worth 10 gold pieces or less. The mortar then instantly fills with the desired amount of that material. Once you use the action, you can't do so again until you finish a short or long rest. You can also use the artifact as alchemist supplies, brewer's supplies, cook's utensils, an herbalism kit, and a poisoner's kit. You have advantage on any checks you make using the artifact as one of these tools. Primal parts. As an action, while the pestle and mortar is within 5 feet of you, you can command the pestle to grind. For the next minute, until you use your action or to verbally command it to stop, the pestle moves on its own, grinding the contents of the mortar into a mush or fine powder that's equally useful for cooking or alchemy. At the start of your turn, whatever is in the mortar takes 4d10 force damage. If this reduces the target's hit points to 0, the target is reduced to powder, pulp, or paste as appropriate. Only magic items are unaffected. If you wish, when the pestle stops, you can have the mortar separate its components, like powdered bone, crushed herbs, pulped organs, into separate piles. Traverse the night. If you are holding the pestle while inside the mortar, you can use your action to verbally command the mortar to travel to a specific place or creature. You don't need to know where the destination is, but it must be a specific destination, not just the nearest river or a red dragon's lair. If the stated destination is within the mortar lifts into the air and vanishes. You and any creature in the mortar travel through a dreamlike sky with hazy reflections of the world passing below. Creatures might see images of you streaking through the sky between your point of origin and your destination. You arrive at the location 1 hour later, or, if it is night, 1 minute later. Bones know their home. When you command the mortar to travel, you can instead throw out the dust or paste of something ground by the mortar and name a location on a different plane of existence or a different world on the material plane. If that material came from a creature native to the named place or world, the mortar travels through an empty night sky to an unoccupied space at that destination, arriving in 1 minute. The mortar and pestle are destroyed if they are crushed underfoot by the dancing hut of Baba Yaga or by Baba Yaga herself. Oh, the audio went wonky for a hot second there. My bad.
Yeah, I could have told you that.
What?
Yeah, I could have told you that happened.
Oh, I didn't notice. Basically, you can use the mortar and pestle to travel to various places, including planes outside your own. And they can only be destroyed if the dancing hut of Baba Yaga, or if Baba Yaga herself crushes them underfoot.
Yep.
But it is safe to assume Baba Yaga can make them again.
Next, barrier tattoo.
Essentially, armor tattooing on your skin.
Yep.
To attune to this, produced by a special needle, this magic tattoo depicts protective imagery and uses ink that resembles liquid metal.
Then the attuning tattoo process is the same as the absorbing one. Jesus.
Sorry?
No, it's fine. I just yawned.
While you aren't wearing armor, the tattoo grants you an armor class depending on the tattoo's rarity, as shown below. You can use a shield and still gain this benefit.
Hi there. Do you want to be a sorcerer with plate mail style armor? Here you go.
And yes, Baba Yaga would be very unhappy about having to make a new one, and will probably come have some stern words with you. Which no one wants to do. Nobody wants to have Baba Yaga have stern words at them. Because
She'd
for all
probably
we know,
send Tasha after you.
Yeah, because either that or put you in the mortar and pestle.
When she makes a new one.
Yeah.
You're gonna fuel my potions, sweetie!
Yeet! Uncommon, 12 plus your dexterity modifier. Rare, 15 plus your dexterity modifier, maximum of +2. And the very rare ones give you an armor class of 18.
Bell branch.
Wondrous item. Rare, requires attunement by a druid or warlock. This silver implement is shaped like a tree branch and strung with small golden bells. Yes, she just might make the new mortar and pestle out of your bones! The branch has 3 charges, and regains 1, 2, or all 3 of them daily at dawn if the charges are expended. You can use the charges in the following ways. As a bonus action, you can expend 1 charge to detect the presence of aberrations, celestials, constructs, elementals, fae, fiends, or undead.
Anything that ain't human.
Yes. If such creatures are present and don't have total cover, the bells ring softly, their tone indicating the type of creatures present. As an action, you can expend 1 charge to cast protection from evil and good.
That's a nice little thing.
That's a nice little item for like an archdruid or something to have.
Yeah, just walking around. Up, we got the stuff.
Yes, odds are she just might feed you to something after just rendering you into a fine paste.
Here's a nice
in reference to Baba Yaga having to make a new mortar and pestle for herself.
Yep. Here's a nice tattoo for, I don't know, barbarian maybe?
Yep. Blood Fury Tattoo. Produced by a special needle, this magic tattoo invokes fury in its forms and colors. Bloodthirsty Strikes. The tattoo has 10 charges and it regains all expended charges daily at dawn. While this tattoo is on your skin, you gain the following benefits. When you hit a creature with a weapon attack, you can expend a charge to deal an extra 4d6 necrotic, excuse me.
Yep.
And you regain a number of hit points equal to the necrotic dealt.
Yep.
Excuse me?
I'll keep going.
When a creature you can see damages you, you can expend a charge and use your reaction to make a melee attack against that creature with advantage.
It's legendary rarity. But can you imagine slapping this tattoo on a barbar?
Just whap! Go get him, buddy!
Go get him!
Bloodwell Vial. Basically, this is a build-your-own spellcasting component. Wondrous... There's also the opinion in the chat that the Bloodthirsty tattoo should also be slapped on a Redemption Paladin.
Yep. And you'll learn more about Oath of Redemption Paladins and other Oath of Paladins when we do our Paladin video.
Yep.
Which we will definitely do and not forget about.
I'll make sure we do it.
Crow has said he will remind me that we should do it.
Good.
Alright, Bloodwell Vial.
To attune to the... It's a wondrous item, uncommon, ranging from uncommon to very rare, and requires attunement by a sorcerer. To attune to this vial, you must place a few drops of your blood into it. The vial can't be opened while your attunement to it lasts. If your attunement to the vial ends, the contained blood turns to ash. You can use this vial as a spellcasting focus for your spells while wearing or holding it, and you gain a bonus to spell attack rolls and to the saving throws of your sorcerer spells. This bonus is determined by the rarity. In addition, when you roll any hit die to recover hit points while you are carrying the vial, you can regain 5 sorcery points. Okay, that's only once a day. That's okay.
Yep. Once a day, so if you're short resting all the days, you can only do it like on your first short rest or... But yeah, I want it. Here's another Druid or Warlock one, and we have a picture.
The Cauldron of Rebirth.
Yep.
This tiny pot bears relief scenes of heroes on its cast iron sides. It's a wondrous item, very rare, requires attunement by a druid or warlock. This tiny pot bears relief scenes of heroes on its cast iron sides. You can use the cauldron as a spellcasting focus for your druid spells, and it functions as a suitable component for the scrying spell. When you finish a long rest, you can use it to create a potion of greater healing. This potion lasts for 24 hours, and it loses its magic if you don't drink it by then. As an action, you can cause the cauldron to grow large enough for a medium creature to crouch within. You can revert the cauldron to its normal size as an action, harmlessly shunting anything that can't fit to the nearest unoccupied space. This next property is why it is a very rare item. If you place the corpse of a humanoid into the cauldron and cover the corpse with 200 pounds of salt, which costs 10 gold pieces, for at least 8 hours, the salt is consumed and the creature returns to life as if by the Raise Dead spell at the next dawn. Once used, this property can't be used again for 7 days.
Revivify Cauldron.
Yeah, you just need to have easy access to a crap ton of salt.
Yep. Coiling Grasp Tattoo. More tentacles!
It is a wondrous item, uncommon, does require attunement, produced by a special needle. This magic tattoo has long, intertwining designs. And apologies for... we were not ignoring you, we were just a little bit going like, holy crap, this item is stupid good. We will do more Reptile Kingdom things, we promise. Especially since I have pretty much all the profiles archived.
Yes, we'll do more Reptile Kingdom things. We will definitely not forget to do the Whiteheart video at Christmas. Even though we were going to do a whole Halloween thing, and that just kind of flew by.
Well...
I got COVID.
Yeah. You caught the plague, so you are forgiven. Grasping tendrils. While the tattoo is on your skin, you, as an action, cause the tattoo to extrude into inky tendrils, with reach for a creature you can see within 15 feet of you. This creature must succeed a DC 14 strength saving throw or take 3d6 force damage and be grappled. Rep, no!
Rep, yes!
As an action, the creature can escape the grapple by succeeding on a DC 14 athletics or acrobatics check. The grapple ends if you halt it, no action required, if the creature is more than 15 feet away from you, or if you use this tattoo's ability on a different creature.
Another artifact! The Crook of Rao. So,
ages ago, the serene god Rao created a tool to shield his fledgling faithful against the evils of the lower planes. Yet, as eons passed, the mortals developed their own methods for dealing with these threats, and the Crook was largely forgotten. In recent ages, though, the Crook of Rao was rediscovered and leveraged against the rising power of the Witch Queen Igwilv, one of the names of the wizard Tasha. Though she was defeated, Igwilv managed to damage the Crook during the battle, infecting it with an insidious curse, and the potential for future victory. In the aftermath, the Crook was lost again. Occasionally it reappears, but the famed artifact is not what it once was. Whether or not the artifact bearers realize its full threat, few risk using the Crook of Rao, potentially for the final time. Oh boy, okay. Random properties.
if you need a break for a drink, just let me know. I'm just
I've got a
letting you
bit.
kind of do it.
I'm good. The artifact has the following random properties which can be determined by rolling on the tables in the artifacts section of the Dungeon Master's Guide. 2 major beneficial properties. Two minor beneficial properties, 1 major beneficial property, and 1 minor detrimental property. The Crook has 6 charges. While holding it, you can use an action to expend 1 or more of its charges to cast one of the following spells. Save DC, 18. Aura of Life, 2 charges. Aura of Purity, 2 charges. Banishment, 1 charge. Beacon of Hope, 1 charge. Mass Cure Wounds, 3 charges. The Crook regains 1d6 expended charges daily at dawn. Absolute Banishment. While you are attuned to the Crook and holding it, you can expend 10 minutes to banish all but the mightiest fiends within 1 mile of you. Any fiend with a challenge rating of 19 or higher is unaffected. Each banished fiend is sent back to its home plane and can't return to the plane the Crook of Rao banished it from for 100 years.
Oh, look. That's kind of interesting. You can even see the crack.
Yeah, you can see the damage Tasha did to it.
Yeah.
That's kind of cool, actually.
Yeah.
Failing Matrix. Whenever the Crook of Rao's absolute banishment property is used, or when its last charge is expended, roll on the extraplanar reversal table. Any creatures conjured as a result of this effect appear in random unoccupied spaces within 60 feet of you and are not under your control.
So, anybody else want 46 to 60?
Felix!
Susan!
You roll a d100. On 1 to 25, a portal to a random plane opens. This portal closes after 5 minutes. On 26 to 45, 2d4 imps and 2d4 quasits appear. 46 to 60, 1d8 succubi or incubi appear. 61
Yes!
61 to 70. 1d10 barbed devils and 1d10 rocks appear. 71 to 71 to 80. 1 Arcanoloth, 1 Night Hag, and 1 Rakshasa appear.
That's oof.
81 to 85. 1 Ice Devil and 1 Morolith appear.
Oof.
86 to 90. 1 Balor and 1 Pit Fiend appear. At the DM's discretion, a portal opens into the presence of an Archdevil or Demon Lord instead, then closes after 5 minutes.
Oof. Yeah, oof. And oof.
40D, 46D, what? Okay, so 46 to 60 on a D100, 1d8, roll 1d8. That many succubi or incubi appear. '91 to 100. Igwilf's Curse. Igwilf's Curse. The Igwilf's Curse property. When the crook was last used against Igwilf, the Witch Queen lashed out at the artifact, infecting its magical matrix. Over the years, the curse has spread within the crook, threatening to violently pervert its ancient magic.
Tentacles.
If this occurs, the Crook of Rao, as it is currently known, is destroyed, its magical matrix inverting and imploding into a 50-diameter portal. This portal functions as a permanent gate cast by Igwilf. The gate then, once per round on initiative count 20, audibly speaks a fiend's name in Igwilf's voice, doing so until the gate calls on every fiend ever banished by the Crook of Rao. If the fiend still exists, it is drawn through the gate. This process takes 18 years to complete, at the end of which the gate becomes a permanent portal to Pazunia, the first layer of the Abyss.
Fun.
Whee! Destroying or repairing the crook. The Crook of Rao can either be destroyed or repaired by journeying to Mount Celestia, which is its own separate plane, and obtaining a tear from the eternally serene god Rao. One way to make the emotionless god cry would be to reunite Rao with the spirit of his first worshipper, who sought revelations beyond the multiverse long ago. The crook dissolves if immersed in the god's tear for a year and a day. If washed in the tear daily for 30 days, the crook loses its failing matrix property. So fixing that thing would be a campaign in and of itself.
Yep. Crystalline Chronicle.
And Rep, I'm not sure there's enough in the world for Igwilf's Curse kicking in.
So, the Crystalline Chronicle.
A very rare, wondrous item, requires attunement by a wizard. An etched crystal sphere about the size of a grapefruit hums faintly, and pulses with irregular flares of light. When you are touching this crystal, you can retrieve and store information and spells within the crystal at the same rate as reading and writing. Or, actually that is a good point. Just take the crook to Rao, tell him what happened to it, and then leave it there. In theory, he should be able to fix it. He made the darn thing, after all. When found, the crystal contains the following spells: Detect Thoughts, Intellect Fortress, Rary's Telepathic Bond, Sending, Telekinesis, Tasha's Mind Whip, and Tensor's Floating Disc. Spells with an asterisk appear in this book. It functions as a spell book for you, with its spells and other writing psychically encoded into it. While you hold the crystal, yes, he either knows how to fix it, or he can sit there and be angry about it.
He's eternally serene. I don't think he would have
I don't think this god knows what anger is.
Yeah, I don't think he'd have much to say one way or the other.
Yeah, it's a good god. It's a good aligned god, so it's not like he's just going to yeet it back to Earth in its current state. While you are holding the crystal, you can use it as a spellcasting focus for your wizarding spells, and you know the Mage Hand, Mind Sliver, and Message cantrips, if you don't already know them. The crystal has 3 charges, and it can regain them daily at dawn. You can use the charges in the following ways while holding it. Basically, you can replace one of your prepared spells. When you cast a wizard spell, you can expend 1 charge to cast it without verbal, somatic, or material components of up to 100 gold pieces value. Anywho.
Yeah. I was going to say this is just like the other spell books, but for, and then I realized, oh, it's not set to one school. Shit.
Yeah.
Next, the Demononomicon of Igawilv. Another artifact.
That has to do with Tasha, because she made this.
Yep.
I believe they are summoned as they are named.
Yep, it's bop, there's a demon, bop, there's a demon, bop, there's a demon.
Yes.
Once every 6 seconds for 18 years.
That's a lot of demons. Like, that is a unhealthy amount of demons.
Yep.
Yes, dagnabbit Tasha. An expansive treatise documenting the Abyss's infinite layers and inhabitants, the Demonomicon of Igwilv is the most thorough and blasphemous tome of demonology in the multiverse. This tome recounts both the oldest and most current profanities of the Abyss and demons. Demons have attempted to censor the text, and while sections have been ripped from the book's spine, the general chapters remain, ever revealing demonic secrets. And the book holds more than blasphemies. Caged behind lines of script roll a secret piece of the Abyss itself, which keeps the book up to date. No matter how many pages are removed, and it longs to be more than mere reference material, that's not safe!
No.
That is the opposite of safe! Oh god, Bean! Good luck getting her to stay! This artifact has the following random properties, which you can determine by rolling on the tables in the artifact section. 2 minor beneficial properties, 1 minor detrimental property, 1 major detrimental property.
Yeah.
In theory, that is entirely possible, Rep, but on the other hand, would you have enough tentacles?
Depends. Are you a fathomless warlock? Because
just find all the fathomless warlocks.
tentacle them into submission.
Oh god, Rep!
Yeah, we can!
I have a feeling playing D&D with you two would go off the rails.
It would go so well.
Maybe. The book has 8 charges. It regains 1d8 expended charges at dawn. While holding it, you can use an action to cast Tasha's Hideous Laughter from one of it, or expend 1 or more charges to cast one of the following spells. Save DC 20 from it. Magic Circle, 1 charge. Magic Jar, 3 charges. Planar Ally, 3 charges. Planar Binding, 2 charges. Plane Shift, 2 layers of the Abyss only, 3 charges. Summon Fiend, 3 charges, appears in this book. You can reference the Demonomicon whenever you make an intelligence check to discern information about demons or make a survival check related to the Abyss. When you do so, you can add double your proficiency bonus. Your magic causes pain to fiends. While carrying this book, when you make a damage roll for a spell you cast against fiends, you use the maximum possible result instead of rolling. That is slightly broken.
Holding the Demonomicon. I'm staring down a Baylor demon. Lightning Bolt level 9. I don't roll.
Yeah, just maximum.
Maximum!
There is a question in the chat devoted specifically to you.
Yes.
We can discuss it after stream.
I have answered the question though, and it's yes.
Anywho, ensnarement. While carrying the book, you can cast the magic circle spell naming only fiends, or the planar binding spell targeting a fiend. The spell is cast at 9th level, regardless of what level spell slot you used. If any. Additionally, the fiend has disadvantage on its saving throw against the spell. The first 10 pages of the Demonomicon are blank. This property is containment. As an action while holding the book, you can target a fiend you can see that is trapped within a magic circle. It must succeed on a DC 20 charisma throw with disadvantage or become trapped within one of the Demonomicon's empty pages, which fills with writing detailing the trapped creature's widely known name and depravities. Once used, this action can't be used again until the next dawn. When you finish a long rest, if you and the Demonomicon are on the same plane of existence, the trapped creature of the highest challenge rating within the book can attempt to possess you. You must make a DC 20 charisma saving throw. On a failure, you are possessed by the creature, which controls you like a puppet. The possessing creature can release you as an action, appearing in the closest unoccupied space. On a successful save, it can't try to possess you again for 7 days. When the tome is discovered, it has 1d6 fiends occupying 1d4 pages occupy there. I can read, I swear.
Yes.
It has 1d4 fiends occupying its pages, typically an assortment of demons. Destroying the Demonomicon.
So to destroy it,
6 different demon lords must each tear out a sixth of the book's pages. If this occurs, the books reappear after 24 hours. Before all of those hours pass, anyone who opens the book's remaining binding... If you have a bunch of creatures of equal CR, I imagine they would play rock, paper, scissors over who gets the meat suit.
otherwise known as DM's discretion.
Yup. Anyone who opens the book's remaining binding is transported to a nascent layer of the abyss that lies hidden within the book. At the heart of this deadly, semi-sentient domain lies a long-lost artifact, Fra Zerblu's staff. If the staff is dragged from the pocket plane, the tome is reduced to a mundane and quite out-of-date copy of the Tome of Zix, the work that served as the foundation for the Demonomicon. Once the staff emerges, the Demon Lord Fra Zerblu instantly knows.
Yep.
You don't want Demon Lords knowing what you're doing.
Nope. Unless, he's one of the 6 demon lords that you got to tear out of 6 of the book's pages.
Yeah. Also, what is stopping Tasha from just making it again?
Nothing. Nothing.
Nothing stops her.
Maybe she just lost interest for the project. That might stop her.
Yeah. Devotee's Censor. Weapon. Rare. Requires attunement by a cleric or paladin. I mean, yes. I imagine if you give the staff back, Fra Zerblu might give you time to yeet out of the abyss.
You did me a solid, here I'm doing you a solid. We cool?
Yeah.
You have 5 minutes,
if
portal.
Yeah, if she needs a Demon Lord's artifact, what's stopping her from taking a different Demon Lord's magical shiny thing?
It is Tasha we're talking about.
This woman, if told, maybe you shouldn't do a thing, her reaction is, watch me! Bean, I think Tasha might take that one as a don't threaten me with a good time.
Don't threaten me with a good time.
The team?
Let's keep moving. It's 12 o'clock. We got an hour to get through the rest of these magic items. Because I don't want to do another one.
Yeah, let's keep going. Devotee's Censer. The rounded head of this flail is perforated with triangles, symbols and patterns. It counts as a holy symbol. If you hit with an attack, it takes an extra 1d8 radiant. As a bonus action, you can speak the command word to cause the flail to emanate a thin cloud of incense out to 10 feet for 1 minute. At the start of each of your turns, you and any other creature in the incense each regain 1d4 hit points. This property can't be used again until the next dawn.
Area of Healing Flail. Duplicitous Manuscript, it's the Illusion Spellbook.
Yeah, it's the special spellbook, but for illusion casters.
You can expend a charge to impose disadvantage on your checks against your illusions. Let's see, what's the highest level spell this one has? 5th level with Mislead. Eldritch Claw Tattoo.
Produced by a special needle. This magic tattoo depicts claw-like forms and other jagged shapes. Tattoo attunement. To attune to this item, you hold the needle to your skin where you want it to appear.
You do the tattoo
blah, blah,
attunement.
blah. Magical strikes. While this tattoo is on your skin, your unarmed strikes are considered magical for the purposes of overcoming immunity and resistance to non-magical damages. Non-magical attacks. And you gain a +1 bonus to attack and damage rolls with unarmed strikes. Eldritch Maul.
More tentacles!
More tentacles! Just more of them.
Yes, always. Wizards of the Coast has found its audience, and its audience is tentacles.
Anyways. As a bonus action, you can empower the tattoo for 1 minute. For the duration, each of your melee attacks with an unarmed the weapon or unarmed strike can reach a target up to 15 feet away from you as inky tendrils launch towards the target. In addition, your melee attacks deal an extra 1d6 force damage on a hit. Once used, this bonus action can't be used again until the next dawn. I have not explained it to him yet, but that is a thing for another day.
I have questions now, Susan.
I will explain all once we are done with this.
Okay. Elemental Essence Shard.
Requires
something I want
by
for
a
Corthic.
sorcerer. Wondrous item. Rare. Basically, do you all remember that astral shard we saw earlier on in this book?
That, but it does something different.
This is that, but elemental flavored.
Roll a d4, consult the table. Learn the shard's property. When you use a metamagic option on a spell while you're wearing the shard, use this property. Yes.
Air. You can fly!
This. Or this.
Earth. You gain
Or
resistance
this.
to a damage type of your choice until the start of your next turn. Fire. One targeted spell you can see catches fire. It takes 2d10 fire damage at the start of its next turn or when the flames go out.
Water.
You create a wave of water that bursts from you in a 10-foot radius. Each creature of your choice you can see takes
1
2d6
second.
cold damage. Must succeed on a strength saving throw against your spell save DC or be pushed 10 feet away and fall down. Anywho. Felix? Felix? You there, buddy? Felix? Oh. Oh dear.
Alright, I'm back.
Okay. I thought you'd gone away somewhere.
I technically did. My grandma was yelling at me.
Oh, okay.
I'm sorry.
It's okay. Apparently the stream went poof for a little bit, for like 20 seconds, but We did not
hiccuped.
lose anything.
It hiccuped.
Yeah, it hiccuped, but we're okay.
Next, check these out. I'd like you to meet the Far Realm Shard, the Feywild Shard, and the Shadowfell Shard.
Those look weird!
They're all for sorcerers.
They're so weird!
So, Far Realm Shard. Same as the other shards and stuff we've looked at. When you use a meta magic, wear a shard. Tentacle.
You can cause a slimy tentacle to rip through the fabric of reality and strike one creature you see within 30 feet of you. The creature must succeed on a charisma saving throw against your spell save DC, or take 3d6 psychic damage and become frightened of you until the start of your next turn.
Tentacle. Feywild Shard. When you use a meta magic and you're holding or wearing the shard, roll on the wild magic table. Doesn't require concentration if it normally does. It lasts for its full duration. If you don't have Wild Sorceress Origin, and you use this property to roll on the table, you can't do it again until the next dawn.
Oh, it seems we lost the elemental shard effect list.
Oh, okay. The Elemental Shard, you can,
If it's air affiliated, you can fly up to 60 feet without provoking opportunity attacks.
Earth, gain resistance to a damage type.
Fire. Things burst into flames.
One thing.
One thing
One
bursts
thing.
into flames.
Takes 2d10, and then the flames go out. Water, Shockwave. Each creature takes 2d6, and must succeed a strength save, or be pushed 10 feet away from you and fall on their asses.
Right.
Perfect for tentacling.
Why are you like this?
Hey, apparently it's the theme of the stream. I'm just going with it. The Fulminating Treatise. It's the spell book, but for evocation.
Yeah. Evocation
And
is
if-
the elemental sort of... The fire boom
Yeah.
magics.
Contingency. I've never seen that spell before. Huh.
Oh, it's a spell you
Interesting.
layer on top of another spell that kicks in as a Hail Mary.
Yeah. Yeah, it's just like, I set this. I set my spell card face down.
It pops up later.
But the fun thing about this book, cast an evocation spell. You can use your reaction when a creature takes damage from an evocation spell. Spend a charge, deal an extra 2d6 force, and knock it on its
prone.
ass. Finally, we're past half of the sections of magic items.
We're almost there.
Christ. Christ. Ghost Step Tattoo. Tattoo shifts and wavers on the skin, parts of it appearing blurred. You have a censored tattoo. You tune it the same way you do any tattoo. And when you use it, it has 3 charges. Spend 1. You become incorporeal, and you gain the following benefits. Resistance to bludgeoning, piercing, slashing. Can't be grappled or restrained. And you can move through solid objects. If you end your turn in one, you take a d10 force.
Yep. Guardian Emblem. The emblem is the symbol of a deity or spiritual tradition. This is an uncommon holy item that requires attunement by a cleric or paladin. As an action, you can attach the emblem to a suit of armor or a shield, or remove it. The
3
ghostly
charge.
form tattoo? Maybe.
Maybe. 3 charges. When you or a creature you see within 30 feet of you suffers a crit while you're wearing the armor or wielding the shield, you can spend a charge to go, no, it's not a crit, fuck you.
Can you put the no.
No.
No, you cannot make ghost tentacles rep.
Well, you can, but just not this way.
You can, but not like this.
Next spell book. It's the enchantment spell book. And you can spend a charge to
Impose
make disadvantage on your enchantment spells.
Yeah.
And it comes with Modify Memory. Ooh. Illuminator's Tattoo. Common Tattoo. Your finger's now a pen.
That never runs out of ink. As an action, you can touch a piece of writing up to 1 page in length and speak a creature's name. The writing becomes invisible to everyone other than you and the named creature for the next 24 hours. Either of you can dismiss the invisibility by touching the script. No action required. Once used, this action can't be used again until the next dawn.
Librum of Souls in Flesh. Necromancy book.
Yes, Bean, you're quite correct. We're all going to hell.
Yeah. Necromancy book. You can
You take on
you
a
can
death...
basically camouflage in undead things.
Yeah.
Life Wall Tattoo. So good. You're resistant to necrotic. And when you would drop to 0, you drop to 1. When you should die, you don't.
I think it's less like finger painting and more you touch your finger to the paper and dictate what you want to say. And then it just kind of flows onto the page.
Yep.
I
And
imagine
here we
that's
have-
one where it's like DM's discretion.
Yeah. Or it's one of those things where, once again, flavor it how you want.
Yeah.
And you have Lubras, Tarokka of Souls.
Quick clarification, what a Tarokka deck is.
It's a tarot deck.
Yes. It is a type of divination cards used by the Vistani, which are covered in the Adventurer's Guide, is it Return? Is
Strahd.
it called Curse of Strahd?
Yep.
Not all lingering souls, lingering spirits, are tragic souls, lost on their way to the hereafter. Some languish as prisoners, souls so wicked mortals dare not free them on an unsuspecting afterlife. Yes, it's like a tarot card deck. Created by a figure of Vistani legend. If anyone's wondering what a Vistani is, they are a fantasy-flavored reskin of the Romani, of an archetype of the Romani people. Created by a figure of Vistani legend, Luba's Tarokka of Souls shaped the destiny of countless heroes. The prophecies of this deck of cards have revealed great evils and guided its creator into the path of nefarious forces. Untold times, the deck's creator, Mother Luba, narrowly escaped doom, spared only by her keen insights. But even for her, not all wickedness could be escaped. In the most dire cases, Mother Luba managed to ensnare beings of pure evil amid the strands of fate, imprisoning them within her Tarokka deck. There these foul spirits dwell still, trapped within a nether realm hidden among shuffling cards, waiting for fate to turn foul, as it inevitably will. Like all Tarokka decks, the Tarokka of Souls is a lavishly illustrated collection of 54 cards, comprising the 14 cards of the high deck and 40 other cards divided into 4 suits: coins, glyphs, stars, and swords.
Properties?
Oh god, Rep, no!
Yeah.
This artifact has the following random properties: 2 minor detrimental properties and 2 minor beneficial properties.
And I will split through what I can do real quick because we are starting to run out of time. That okay with you?
Yeah, that's good with me.
Spells. You can cast spells from it. Save 18. You can cast Comprehend Languages, Detect Evil Good, Detect Magic, Detect Poison Disease, Locate Object, Scry. Basically, if you can detect something, you can detect it with this deck. You can only cast it once a day, though. Enduring Vision. You automatically succeed on Constitution saving throws to maintain your concentration on divination spells while holding the deck. As an action, you can draw a card from the deck and twist Fortune. for another creature you can see within 15 feet. Choose one of the following. Wheel. The creature has advantage on attacks, abilities, and saves for an hour. Whoa. The creature has disadvantage on attacks, abilities, and saves for an hour. Deck can be used twice this way, and you get it all back at dawn. But whenever you use that Twist of Fate, there's a chance the souls trapped inside the deck escapes. Roll D100. Roll and consult the Souls of Toroka table. If you roll one of the high cards, the soul associated with it escapes. You can find its stats in the monster manual. If you roll a soul that already escaped, roll again. Souls of Toroka. So, 14 or lower, you're getting something. 15 or higher, you're fine. You could get a Flame Skull from the Artifact card, a Wraith from the Beast card, a Banshee from the Broken One, a Vampire from the Dark Lord, a Mummy from the Donjon, a Death Knight from the Executioner. This is the one you don't want. A Ghost from the Ghost. Wow, so...
Very on the nose.
Very on the nose. A Mummy Lord from the Horseman, a Ghost from the Innocent, a Standard Mummy from the Marionette, a Wraith from the Mists, a Vampire Spawn from the Raven, a Vampire from the Seer, and another Vampire Spawn from the Tempter. It appears within a random location at 10 miles from you and terrorizes the living. Until it's destroyed, it gains the benefit from the wheel, the benefit of a wheel from the deck's Twist of Fate, and both you and the original target of the Twist of Fate suffer woe.
Shuffling Fate. If you go 7 days without using the Twist of Fate property, your attunement to Luba's Taraka of Souls ends, and you can't attune to it again until after another creature uses Twist of Fate on you, destroying the deck. Luba's Taraka of Souls can be destroyed only if all 14 souls within are released and destroyed. This reveals a 15th soul, a Lich, that inhabits the Nether card, which appears only when the 14 souls are defeated. If this ancient entity is destroyed, the Nether card vanishes and the deck becomes a normal Taraka deck with no special properties. But it includes a new card of the DM's design.
And here's a big thing on Mother Luba and the Vistani. Oh, crap. Barovia is in the Shadowfell. Huh.
It's in a plane very tightly tied to the Shadowfell.
Oh.
Things from the Shadowfell can't get in, but Vistani can get out.
Got it. Well, I'll leave that up a little bit. Anybody wants to stop and read it, you can, but we're on a time crunch. Bye! Yeah. Lyre of Building. You can cast Mending with the Lyre.
In addition, you can play the Lyre as an action to cast Fabricate, Move Wall, Pass Wall, or Summon Construct, as appears in this book. And the spell can't be cast from it again until the next dawn.
Also, another thing that's really big. Play it as a reaction when an object or structure within 300 feet of you takes damage, causing it to be immune to the damage.
And any further damage of that type until the start of your next turn. Is it possible to base the basic campaign off of purifying the deck? Certainly.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah, some of these items you can shape entire campaigns around dealing with.
Thing is, you are not going to be releasing these in,
sequential
you're not
order.
You're not going to go, oh, okay, so we beat the Flame Skull. Let's beat the Wraith. Oh, that was easy. Let's beat the Banshee. Okay, that was fun. Vampire. Not happening.
Yeah.
All right, let's move on to the Mummy. That's fine. Let's move on to Executioner. No. No. Ghost. Mummy Lord. Mummy Lord. No. No thanks. Oh, and let's get to the Lich. No. No. You looking at this, Susan?
Yes.
No.
basically, this is while you can do it, it's a thing.
Yep. Masquerade tattoo, a common tattoo.
Produced by a special needle, blah 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 blah.
Appears on your body anywhere you want. Fluid ink. You can just change this tattoo's design anytime you want.
It can
And
change. It can range in size from no smaller than a copper piece to an intricate work of art that covers all of your skin.
Yep. And disguise self. You can disguise self DC 13 from the tattoo once a day.
Yeah. Using the Taraka deck as a thing for higher level players to do. Yeah, you can definitely do that.
Oh yeah, 100%. That can definitely be a late game
quest
thing. You're not starting off with that though.
Yeah, that will not be the entire focus of your campaign.
Right. And here we have yet another artifact, the Mighty Servant of Luek 0.
Named for the warlord who infamously employed it, the Mighty Servant is a fantastically powerful 10-foot-tall machine that turns into an animate construct when piloted. Crafted of a gleaming alloy of unknown origin, Servant is often described as a combination of disproportioned dwarf and an oversized beetle.
Yeah. Do you want a mech suit? Here's a mech suit.
Yeah, for a section of the campaign, yeah, you can definitely do something where the party needs to take care of the Taraka deck. But anywho.
Yeah. So basically, this is a 2-person mech suit. You need to attune to it for 2 hours.
For 2 people.
Yep. Yeah, and
stand back.
At any point, anyone within 50 feet could accidentally be punched.
This process must be undergone every time a creature attunes to it. So in other words, if it's gonna get attuned to, everybody else, stand back.
Yeah. Only creatures attuned to it can open the hatch on the back. You can also do it with a 25 unlock. A knock spell opens it for a turn.
Creature can enter or exit through the hatch by spending 10 feet of movement. Those inside have total cover from effects outside it. The controls within allow creatures to see outside without obstruction. While you are inside the creature, you can command it by using the controls. During your turn for either attuned creature, you can command it in the following ways.
Open or close. Move it up to its speed. Action and stat block. And use the reaction to attack with it. And it has a self-destruct.
It is not revealed to crew members when they attune to it.
Nope. You gotta find it. Yeah. And there is a ghost in the machine. This is an Ava, by the way.
Huh?
It's an Ava. It's got something else piloting it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. When it blows up, it does so in a 100-foot radius. Every creature takes 25d6 force damage, 25d6 lightning damage, and 25d6 thunder damage.
On a successful save, a creature takes half as much damage. That doesn't matter! You're still going to die!
Yeah, and if you're somehow still inside, you're dead. You're just dead.
And you'd leave behind no remains, so there is no resurrecting you unless you find a really powerful sorcerer. This doesn't even permanently destroy it!
Nope.
2d6 days later, its parts, left arm, left leg, right leg, lower torso, and upper torso, drop from the sky in random places within 1,000 miles of the explosion.
If it would have just kept with upper torso only, I would have been, it's Exodia!
The pieces reconnect and reform the servant.
And here's the stat block for the servant.
There's also a way to permanently destroy it.
Oh.
The servant can be destroyed in 2 ways. After it is self-destructed, the disconnected pieces can be melted down in one of the forge temples of its ancient Ulman creators. Alternatively, if the servant strikes the machine of Lum the Mad, both artifacts explode in an eruption that is 3 times the size and 3 times the damage of the servant's self-destruct property.
So 75, 75, and 75 d6s.
That's way too many d6s.
Christ.
Yeah.
Can't be banished. As it has magic resistance, it regens. It's 310 hit points. It can standing leap. Of course, it's construct. On a hit, it does 4d12 plus 10. If it jumps, it can land on you and do 4d12. Moon Sickle. Suzanne?
Yeah. Weapon, sickle, ranging from uncommon to very rare, requires attunement by a druid or ranger. This silver-bladed sickle glimmers softly with moonlight. While holding this weapon, you gain a bonus to attack and damage rolls made with it, and you gain a bonus to spell attack rolls and saving throw DCs for your druid and ranger spells. The bonus is determined by the weapon's rarity. In addition, you can use the sickle as a spellcasting focus for your druid and ranger spells. When you cast a spell that restores hit points, you can roll a d4 and add that number rolled to the amount of hit points restored, provided you are holding the sickle.
The thing, though, why would anyone ever pick a sickle as a weapon?
For melee, it can be quite impressive.
No, it can't. It only does a d4. A dagger does more than a sickle.
Well, better to have it and not need it.
Yeah. Yeah, here's something for Druid and Rangers. Do you want a little bit of rogue? Here you go. Wear this cloak, you can hide as a bonus action. Even if you are being stared directly at. Do you want to go Gilly Mantle? Here's Gilly Mantle. Tell me that's not what it is.
Yeah, that is kind of what it is.
Outer Essence Shard. We're back to the Sorcerer. Do the things the Sorcerers do. D4 every time to determine the shard's essence and property. And use a meta magic, use the property. It's either lawful, chaotic, good, or evil. If it's lawful, and a condition. Chaotic. Give disadvantage on attack rolls and ability checks if you take damage from if something took damage from the spell.
Good. You heal something a little bit better.
No, it's not. Use a meta magic. You are one creature that you can see gain 3d6 temp HP.
Right.
Evil.
Wolf just brought up a good point about why someone would use a sickle as a weapon. In some places, it could just be discounted as, oh, that's a piece of farming equipment, and just not take it from you if it's a place where you're not supposed to have weapons.
That's fair. Evil. Choose a creature that takes damage from the spell. Deal an extra 3d6 necrotic.
Yeah.
Here we go! Wizard's Codex! Conjuration... Wizard book, conjuration time. That's what it is.
Yeah, that's basically what that is.
When you conjure a summon... if you conjure a summon or creature spend a charge to give that thing advantage for a minute.
Right.
Prosthetic limb. That's what it is.
This item replaces a lost limb. Hand, arm, foot, leg, or similar body part. It functions identically to the part it replaces. You can detach or reattach it as an action, and it can't be removed against your will. If you die, it pops off.
Yep. Protective versus.
This is the
Aberration.
magical item spellbook, but
Abjuration.
for abjuration.
When you cast an abjuration spell, you can grant a creature 2d10 temp HP.
Yep.
Woo!
Almost done.
Last section. R to Z.
Reveler's Concertina. This item requires attunement by a bard. While holding this concertina, you gain a +2 bonus to the saving throw DC of your bard spells. As an action, you can use the concertina to cast Otto's Irresistible Dance from the item. This property of the concertina can't be used again until the next dawn.
Another bard thing.
Rhythm Maker's Drum. Wondrous item ranging from common to very rare. Again, requires attunement by a bard.
You gain a bonus
Wolf,
to the...
you have a point. While holding this drum, you gain a bonus to spell attack rolls and the saving throw DCs of your bard spells. This bonus is determined by the drum's rarity. As an action, you can play the drum to regain 1 use of your bardic inspiration. The property of this drum can't be used again until the next dawn.
Shadowfell brand tattoo. While having this tattoo that is dark in color and abstract, you gain dark vision to 60 feet and advantage on stealth checks. And when you take damage, you become insubstantial for a moment. Having it, you gain uncanny dodge.
Then that reaction can't be used again until the next sunset.
Specifically. Shadowfell Shard. Sorcerer thing again. Attach it to jewelry or weapon. When you use a meta magic, you can curse a creature targeted by the spell. Choose an ability score until the end of the next turn. The creature has disadvantage on all ability checks and saving throws using that ability. You're done with your turn. You see the wizard prepping a fireball.
No.
Dex. No, you see your wizard prepping a fireball. Used meta magic. You look at the big boss. Dex. It's got disadvantage to dodge the fireball.
Awesome.
I love it. Spell Rot Tattoo.
Basically, you can store a spell up to 5th level on your skin for emergency use.
Yep. But how it is casted is based on the tattoo, not on your casting thing.
Yep. You can have anything. So cantrips and 1st level spells are common.
Yep.
2nd and 3rd level spells are uncommon, while 4th and 5ths are quite rare.
Yep.
That makes sense.
Yep. But you can only do it once, and then the tattoo's gone. It's your emergency backup tattoo. Now, can I talk about my favorite artifact in
Yes.
this book? The teeth of Dalvernar. The teeth of Dalvernar. They are stories given form. They are a collection of teeth, each suggestive of wildly different origins and made from various materials. The collection rests within a ledger pouch. My mouth is dry and I'm wording bad. Give me a second. The collection Jesus. The collection rests within a leather pouch stitched with images of heroes and whimsical creatures. Where the teeth fall, they bring legends to life. So, you cannot grab a specific tooth. You grab tooth random. You can either sew the tooth or implant it. So, if you don't sew or implant, roll a die. Even number. So either way, you're going to sew or implant. Even number, you sewed it, but they're hostile to you. Odd number, you implanted it. Each tooth can only be used once. Track which teeth you have used. The tooth's result is rolled after it's been used. You draw the next lowest unused. So sewing teeth, put it on the ground or toss it in the ground or you can put it on the ground or throw it into a body of water. It burrows into the ground and vanishes, leaving no hole, or it vanishes in the water. And then the creature is summoned depending on the tooth. They are allies to you, speak all languages you speak, and linger for 10 minutes, unless otherwise noted. Implanting it. You implant it in your mouth, where your own teeth fall out, and the drawn tooth takes its place, resizing to fit in your mouth. You gain the effect noted in the implanted column. It can't be removed while you're attuned to it, and you can't voluntarily end your attunement. If removed after your death, it vanishes. You can have a maximum number of teeth equal to 1 plus your con mod, minimum of 2 teeth. If you try to implant more teeth, the newly implanted tooth replaces one of the previous teeth determined randomly. Once all teeth have vanished, the pouch vanishes. The pouch with all the teeth then appears in a random destination, which could be a different world of the material plane. Shit. Sorry.
You're okay.
So to destroy a tooth, it must be individually sewed in the area where the tooth story originated with the intention of destroying it. When playing this way, the creatures are not friendly to you and do not vanish. Some of them merely head off in search of home, while others act as their tails dictate. In either case, the tooth is gone forever.
And it looks like there's a table for this.
Yes, there's a D20 table. So, number 1, you get the starring cats of Oldundar, an ivory cat molder. If you sew it, you get 9 cats. If you implant it, it has 8 charges. You can expend a charge to cast Revivify. If you are dead at the start of your turn, the tooth expends 1 charge and casts Revivify on you. You want 9 lives, motherfucker? You want 9 lives? Number 2, Douglas Surprising Day, a human molar. You get a commoner. Or if you put it in, whenever you finish a long rest, it casts Sanctuary on you.
And it lasts for 24 hours or until you break it.
Yep. 3, the Golden Age of Dakan. So if you plant it, it's a golden goblin bicuspid. If you plant it, it summons 10 goblins and a goblin boss. If you implant it, whenever you're hit by an attack and an ally is in 5 feet of you, you can use your reaction to have it hit them instead.
If you can't use this reaction again until you finish a short rest.
The Mill Road Murders, a halfling canine. You summon 3 green hags in a coven.
When you damage a target that hasn't taken a turn in this combat, the target takes an extra 3d10 slashing damage from ghostly blades.
This is a great tooth for a rogue. First turn, advantage, sneak attack, plus 3d10. dooms of the Mafalgi. You summon a lizard folk queen and 4 lizard folk, and you gain reptilian skills, granting you a +2 to your AC. But when you finish a long rest, you gotta succeed on a DC 15 con, or gain a level of exhaustion. The Stable Hand Secret, a sweet-tasting human canine. You summon 2 incubi. Ooh, I wonder why. But if you put it in, you basically get a bardic inspiration for your charisma checks. But the creature then becomes hostile to you at next dawn. The Donkey's Dream, a rainbow-colored donkey molar. You can summon a unicorn. Or it has 3 charges. You can spend a charge to touch a creature. It gets 2d8 + 2 healing, and removes all diseases and poisons. And you get a unicorn horn when you use this. It gets all its charges back at dawn, but you get the flaw, where I see wickedness in action, I must oppose it.
Fun.
So, number 8, you get a Mind Flayer Tooth. You can summon 2 Mind Flayers. You get telepathy, and you can cast...
You good?
And cast... Yeah. And you can cast Detect Thoughts. But you have advantage on Insight and Perception.
You disadvantage.
Yeah, you have disadvantage. I'm sorry.
It's okay.
It's my first time reading today, and I'm just having a time.
Disadvantage on insight and perception checks from the constant whispers of memories and nearby minds.
Yep. The disappearance of Half Hollow. You get a tooth. You get a toad tooth.
4 giant toads
Are summoned if you put it in the ground, and if you put it in your mouth.
Your long jump is up to 30 feet, and your high jump is up to 15 feet with or without a running start.
Number 10, legendary. Wow, they just want me to mess up. Of phantoms and ghosts, an obsidian human molar. And look, number 10, you can cast tentacles.
You summon a giant octopus, a mage, and a specter.
And if you put it in your mouth, you can cast tentacles.
God damn it.
Number 11, the 1,000 Deaths of Jander Sunstar. You get a vampire fang.
You can summon a vampire. Or
and you can make a bite attack. If you put it in your mouth, you get a bite attack. You can deal a d6 piercing, a 3d6 necrotic. You gain HP equal to necrotic. But if you're in sunlight, you can't heal.
That sounds like a lot more trouble than it's worth.
Yep. Nightmares of Kagash. You want a Beholder Tooth? Do you want to summon a Beholder? Do you want to be able to use Eye Bite once a day? But whenever you finish a long rest, roll a d20. On a 20, a random aberration appears within 30 feet and attacks.
Yeah. Tasha's book in a nutshell. Why are there so many tentacles?
Because Tasha's a very special woman.
I don't know.
13, 3 bridges to the sky. You summon 3 Oni. And you get a... Or if you put it in your mouth, you can get flying speed of 30 feet. You can cast Detect Magic at will. But if you are attuned to 3 or fewer magic items, you gain a level of exhaustion that can't be removed until you are attuned to 3 or more magic items. Good one to Artificers, who can attune to 6.
Yeah, good one to Artificers, who just attune to everything.
The Claws of Dragotha, a broken translucent fang. You can summon an adult red Draco Lich.
Whee!
Or you can cast the... You put it in your mouth, and you can cast Create Undead. Every time you create an undead using the tooth, though, a skeleton, zombie, or ghoul appears in a random location within 5 miles for you, searching of living to kill. A humanoid killed by these undead rises as the same type of undead at midnight. You want to just make undead armies without trying? Here's how you make undead armies without trying. Number 14, I feel, is great for an evil campaign.
Yeah.
Ashes of the Ages and Eternal Fire. Number 15, a Jade Humanoid Bicuspid. You summon one of each type of genie. Or you can use the tooth if you put it in your mouth to cast Counterspell at 9th level.
If you haven't used a tooth to counter a spell since your last long rest, your hit point maximum is reduced by 2d10. This reduces your hit point maximum to 0. You die.
Yep. Daughters of Bel, a green steel pit fiend fang. You can summon a pit fiend, or you can dominate monster if you put it in your mouth. But you smell of sulfur. Why the Sky Screams, a blue dragon fang. You can summon an ancient blue dragon.
You gain immunity to lightning damage, but vulnerability to thunder.
The Last Tarask. It's a Tarask tooth. You summon a Tarask for a d4 rounds.
It ignores you and your commands, appears for 1d4 rounds, then vanishes.
And, that, if you put it in your mouth. Would you like to rage?
Badly.
You deal double damage if you take 20 or more in a turn. If you take 20 or more damage in a turn, you gotta succeed a DC 18 saving throw, wisdom, or go into a murderous fury. You must use your action to make unarmed strikes against a creature that damaged you, or a random creature you can see if you weren't damaged by a creature, moving as close as you can to the target if necessary. Incendix Tooth, a ruby-veined red dragon fang. You can summon an ancient red dragon.
Yup.
Hi, boy. You get immunity to fire damage. You get a fire breath that does 20d6 fire. 26d6.
On a failed save or half as much on a successful one. After using the breath weapon, you gain 2 levels of exhaustion.
Speed half.
Allow me to explain, Felix? Tarask. Power scale.
A Tarask. A Tarask. Let's say this. It's CR 30. It is the only thing that is CR 30.
Yeah, Barbarian Monk with the Tarask Tooth's effect would be freaking broken.
Yep. Take a couple levels in Barbarian, a couple levels in Monk, put the tooth in.
Whee!
But no, summoning a Tarask
Is a bad idea.
unless it's a really good idea. If it's your only idea.
It's either a really bad idea or a really good idea. Because
No.
look at all of the things it is immune to.
No, Bean, I wanna let you know this. Godzilla ain't got shit on a Tarask. This thing is stronger than a ancient red dragon. If I ever see or hear a Tarask so much as fart anywhere within 5 miles of me, I'm out. I'm done. I'm gone. Goodbye.
We are all politely leaving the area. And finally...
Daliv Nar's Tooth, a dusty human molder. You summon a priest. Okay. But
or, if you shove it in your mouth...
You can use that that god call that clerics get, and it's divine intervention, but you gotta roll a D100 for it if it works. No, you're just like, Hey, God, listen up.
I need some help down here.
But once you do it, you can't do it again for 7 days.
Right, that's fair. That's pretty fair, though.
Yeah, you basically said, hey, God, shut what you're doing. Listen to me for a second. Come on.
Yeah. And that is the last of the magic items, I believe.
Yes, it is. We did it.
Now the
We got
last
through
bit.
all the important stuff of Tasha's.
Now the last bit is stuff for dungeon masters to be looking at.
Yep. And there's some puzzles. And then the credits. I like this thing from Tasha, though.
I'll have her say it. How's that?
Yeah.
Why create a solvable puzzle? Just pose an enigmatic question without an answer, and watch your trespassers squirm.
Tasha gets shit done.
That is a way to put it, Bean.
But here's the credits.
Here's the credits, everyone who was involved putting this book together.
This is the old cover.
Thank you all very much for joining us. Please support the official release of this book. It can be found wherever you get your gaming book goodness. Thank you all for coming. 4th edition. Ooh, 4th is a train wreck that's gonna need its own video.
Yeah, no, we don't talk about 4th edition. 4th edition doesn't exist.
I am willing to talk about 4th, but only as a warning.
I'm gonna close off the stream here.
Okay, just let me end it on my end first. Thank you all very much for coming. I hope you enjoyed it. Please, like you've enjoyed this, subscribe for more. We do have a Patreon at patreon.com/monsterreviewgirl. If you want to check us out there, please do, for early access to content and exclusive videos like our reactions to Rosario Vampire. I still sometimes look at that and go, what am I watching? But anywho, thank you very much for joining us, and goodbye for now.
Ciao, Bella.